The Whispering Tree, a secret that changed a life. Chapter 1, The Lonely Boy. Ethan Parker was an ordinary teenager in the small town of Willow Creek. But if you looked closely, you'd see something missing in his eyes. He felt like a ghost, passing through life unnoticed. At school, he was the kid no one picked for group projects. At home, his parents were always busy. His father worked long hours at a factory, and his mother ran a small diner. He longed for someone to truly see him, to hear his voice. But no one did. One afternoon, after failing a math test and being laughed at in class, Ethan didn't go home. Instead, he wandered into the woods, the only place where the noise of the world couldn't reach him. Deep in the forest stood a massive oak tree, older than the town itself. The people of Willow Creek called it the Whispering Tree. Some said it had been there for hundreds of years, listening to the secrets of those who sat beneath it. That day, Ethan slumped against its rough bark, blinking back tears. "I wish I could just disappear," he muttered under his breath. Chapter 2, The Whisper. The wind rustled the leaves, making them dance in the golden light. And then, something strange happened. A voice, deep and gentle, whispered, "Why would you want that?" Ethan's heart pounded. He sat up, looking around. No one was there. "Who said that?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "I did." His breath caught. The voice, it was coming from the tree. Ethan swallowed hard. Trees don't talk. The bark beneath his fingers felt warm, almost alive. "Not all do, but I have watched over this town for centuries, and I've seen many like you." Ethan frowned. "Like me?" "Lost, unseen, wishing they were someone else." Ethan looked away. He didn't want to admit it, but the tree was right. "Let me tell you a secret, Ethan," the tree whispered. "Do you know why I'm the tallest and strongest tree in this entire forest?" Ethan shook his head. "Because I never stopped growing." Chapter 3, The Lesson That Changed Everything. The leaves rustled again. "Storms have tried to break me, droughts have tried to kill me, but I never stopped. Growth isn't always visible. It happens deep inside, even when no one notices." Ethan stared at the branches stretching towards the sky. "But I don't think I have anything special inside me." The tree was silent for a moment. Then it whispered, "Neither did I, until I grew. Strength isn't given, it's built. You won't always see it, but every challenge, every failure is making you stronger, and one day you'll stand taller than you ever imagined." Ethan blinked, the words sinking into his heart. For the first time in his life, someone or something believed in him. Chapter 4, A New Beginning. The next day at school, something changed. Ethan didn't magically become popular. He didn't ace every test overnight, but he stopped hiding. He asked questions in class, even when he was afraid of getting them wrong. He started practicing basketball, even though he wasn't the best. He pushed himself, little by little, because the Whispering Tree's words echoed in his mind. Growth happens even when no one sees it. Over time, people did start to notice him. Teachers saw his effort. A classmate invited him to join a study group. He made his first real friend. And one day, years later, Ethan Parker, the boy who once wished to disappear, stood on a stage, receiving a scholarship for his achievements in school. The audience clapped. His parents smiled proudly, and for the first time, Ethan felt tall, taller than he ever thought possible. After the ceremony, he walked back to the forest. He placed his hand on the ancient oak's bark and whispered, "You were right." And in the wind, he swore he heard the tree whisper back, "I always knew." Moral of the story: your struggles don't define you, your growth does. Life will challenge you, but every difficulty is shaping you into someone stronger. Believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Because one day, the world will see what you were always meant to be. Closing scene. Ethan walking away from the forest as the sun sets behind the tree. The screen fades to black, and words appear. Growth happens even when no one sees it. Keep going.